Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. It is Angela, the Traveling Crafter, and I'm here with kind of a throwback of a project I did a long time ago. But I happened to have this book block, and I started to play around with it, and I thought, I think I am just going to hop on here and kind of refresh your memories if you haven't or didn't get to see the first video. So, what you're going to need before we get started is some book pages, and you're going to you will need some kind of X-Acto knife. I've got my Tough Built Scraper utility knife that is my very, very favorite. And you will need some glue. And now that I just thought about it, I want to get my glue gun out because I want to show you. Well, I guess I don't really need to. I don't need to do that because I'm just going to glue a couple on here. So what we are going to be, as I always say, what we are going to aspire to today is this little beauty that I did. I don't know, it's probably been a couple of years ago. But at one point, I used to use these book blocks, and I would use them when I use glue sticks, and that would be like my glue book, so I didn't get it all over my surface. I then realized that probably wasn't the best use of paper. I mean, sure, it's using it up, but then I had all of this, tons of it. So I started using these mats. These were from Carrie the Paper Monkey. They're actually from Dollar Tree. I used to have a hard time finding them, but I did finally go to a different Dollar Tree and found some in my area. But everybody else could find them easily. So that's what I use, as you can tell, when I'm going to glue pages on. And you can kind of see this one is for gluing because it's got glue all over it, but it dries up really fast. But previous to that, I would have all of these book pages, and I would, as soon as they were really gluey, then I would just fold them in half or fold them this way, and then I'd use them for other projects. But I got to a point where it was too much. So when that was the case, I started doing this. So I just took them like this and folded them in half. Now, back in the day when I made this cutie, and all we're going to do is create a three-dimensional. This could be something that's cute that stands on, in your craft room. You could put it in a little tiered tray. You could put your child's photo in it. But for us, what we are going to do is we are going to make this into something that could be used as part of our journal. Now, like I said, I've had this one for a couple of years. I used probably, I'd say 50 to 60 pages in the ones that I'm going to show. I'll show you in a second. So here's the original. Here's one that we're going to add a few pages to. So I think there's like 50 pages on this one. And all I would do is I would just take my glue stick and put them together and throw them aside. And then I just started gluing and stacking them onto one another. Now, when I did this round of making these, what I found was something that helped to kind of build up the structure was to use my hot glue gun. So I would hot glue around here and so what I would do is I'd fold, because I didn't have any of these made up. I just did these. And this is just a Reader's Digest. So I just glued with my glue gun, not with my Fabri-Tac. And I'll tell you why in just a second. So I would glue it like this, and then I would alternate whether the folded end was on this side or whether it was on this side. So each one I would do differently. So for example, and I just went kind of across this area, and I tried to get like not farther than about right here. And that's going to be important later. So this one, the last one, looked like it was on with the open side. So I'm going to put this one on here. And then you just continue to fold another one. Don't worry about the raw edges. Doesn't matter. Again, if you've got a glue gun, use that because it will help when you're about to cut is what the reason behind that is. So I just fold it in half. Now this one needs to go with the folded edge this way. So I just kind of go like this on all 4 sides. And it might take a second for this to actually dry, but that's okay. We'll start, we can start on the other side. And you just keep going until you've stacked them up. Now, what I want you to see here is, hopefully you'll be able to see this. It's going to take a minute for these to dry. Can you guys tell? Maybe not. That this is kind of a divot in here. It's a little bit like it's thicker here than it is in the middle. The reason that makes it easier is because when you cut this out, when I did it before with all those layers of that glue stick on top of each other, it took me forever, and a lot of muscle, because I was going through all of those levels of glue, right? So that is why I found this option with the glue gun just a little bit easier. Now, if you don't have a glue gun, and you're using, you use a glue book, just do it the way I did it the first time. Don't waste the pages, but it's pretty easy. Now, what did I use last time? Let me show you a couple of the other ones that I got ready. So this one, I think I just free formed it. And then I slapped that on the back because I was just experimenting with it. And we're going to do 3 designs of kind of, well, we'll do, 3 designs, and they're all very different. So this one, you can see, it's a little bit off. My square's a little bit off. Don't worry about that. It's totally fine. And the other thing is, if you don't like this side has a lot of white, if you don't like that and you want more writing on it, then you'll have to just kind of consider that. So whatever you choose works just fine. But all I did last time, on one of them anyway, maybe this one. Nope, not this one. On one of them, here's the other one. Let me put this back over here, and I'll show you. I've got all the stuff that I want to use laying on top of them, so hang on a second. There we go. Gosh, maybe I just used this as the starting point and then just started working around. I must have. I don't know. But I did use this as kind of a guide to get me started. But you don't really have to, especially if you use that glue gun. You can kind of feel where that ridge is. And now here's the part where you're going to want to be careful. And I'm just going to kind of feel. You know what I'll do this time? I think just for those of you who like it a little more precise. Let's do this. We're going to take our centering ruler, because I'm totally okay with eyeballing it. But if you're not, then we need to rectify that for all of you. Okay. And I'm just moving this until I'm equal. Am I equal yet? No. Just about there, I think. That's about in the center. All right, so I'm going to make this my center point. I'm just going to poke a little hole in there. And let's just say we want to go about right here at the 2-inch mark. So let's just make it right here. And right here. And we're going to cut on this side of it. Not this side. We're going to cut on the inside of it. All right, now let's turn it the other way. Where was that hole that I made? There it is. I just want to be able to see it, because all that's coming out. All right, now let's turn it this way and center this. And I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but it's pretty close. All right, so let's just say we want this to go right here and right here. So that way I have a little bit of a guide. And you could, if you wanted, take your ruler and go all the way around it. We're not going to do that. We're just going to go just like this. And we're going to start, I'm just going to start in a corner. And I'm just going to press down on this and slide this down. Trying to stay on this side of that. And I'm using a lot of my body weight and a lot of strength in my hand. So if that's something that is hard for you, or your hands are, don't work quite as well, or you don't want to get pain in your hand. Oops, I just went over that one. You might want to ask somebody else to do this part for you. And then all you're going to do is just pull out the ones. Let's erase this now. Just pull them out a little by little. But do you see how much easier that is to, well, I mean, you might not be able to tell that, but it is much easier to get through that paper when it is, doesn't have all that extra glue on it. And then if you want, these are nice and thick. You could glue all these together and use them for something else too, but we're not going to do that today. Oh, I did a good job on that one. And this is just a bone folder that I'm just getting some of those extra pieces out. So I'm just going to keep pulling these out until, like, if it gets stuck, then I'm just coming back in there to release it. And just be careful when using knives like this. And so then I'm just going to, again, take it up like this, and I'm cutting away from this hand, just in case you wondered. I mean, I know you probably all know that, but it doesn't hurt to repeat it. Now that doesn't seem like it got quite to the end, so I'm going to just kind of pop a couple holes in there. We're getting to the bottom of it. And again over here, and just go slow. No need to go fast. Want to keep all of our limbs, all of our phalanges. All right, and then we're just going to get this. You could use the tweezers or whatever you have around the house. And again, I'm kind of making sure this is pulling out. And there's that corner that was a little bit stuck. Because if you just take a few pieces at a time, it makes it much easier than if, like, you rip it out and then you need to go back in here and be more precise. It makes it a little bit harder to get right. And you could use, like, I have a really tiny X-Acto. Looks like that compared to this big kahuna. That we can use to refine that if we need to. I think I had to do that on one of them. So I'm just going to repeat it again. Now, some of these I'm already through, like here and here. And so it shouldn't, we should be able to get through to the, and you'll feel it kind of release like that one just did when you get to the bottom. Now, of course, if you have 100 pieces of paper all hooked together, you might have to do this a few more times. But for the sake of this video, I wanted to just do one so I could show you all the way through. And I have a feeling I need to come in like this. And there we go. Now, we might be able to pop this out. We can. Came all popped all the way out. And then just get those little corners. And like I said, this is not something that's supposed to be perfect. This is supposed to be like a, you know, like you've cut pages out of a book. All right, so if you want, you can use those for something else later on and set those aside. All right, so everything's been cut out. This is what it looks like on the inside. Just kind of cool. Now, I am going to check here because you may have, you know, if you're just slapping these pages together, like I was watching a video while I was doing all of this, so there may be pieces that are not exactly, I didn't do too shabby altogether, but If you want to, if you use a hot glue, then it's going to go really fast and it will stick really fast. But if you're using other glue, like I just used the Fabri-Tac, it might take you a little while longer. Okay, so we've got 3 of them. Now I'm going to show you, we're going to do 3 very different looks, and I want to start with the easiest one that I think will be fun. I won't do anything except for decorate the outside of this, but the other day, I've been working, by the way, on my cinch binders, and thanks to Carrie the Paper Monkey. Well, when you use your cinch, there's a tray in there that has all these like little confetti that it makes when you're all done. So I just made this cute little heart just to use these up because I thought it would be fun. So if you got a cinch, don't throw away those scraps. But we're going to use this instead of like entirely using the book as it is. I'm just going to use what I have left in this little Ziploc and cover it. Just like a confetti, kind of a confetti thing. And I think what I'll do is kind of, we'll see how many I have. First, and if I can get it all the way around, or it might look just kind of cute sprinkled here and there. We shall see. Now, if I wanted to get my fingers dirty, do I want to get my fingers dirty? No. You could spread it out with your finger. I'm not going to do that because I don't feel like it. So I'm just going to heavily douse this with those sprinkles just to give it another look. Another look-see. I was going to do a separate video on this. I'm like, well, that's kind of silly. You don't really need to do that, Ange. This is just like putting sequins or any of those things onto a project. I just put my finger right in that. Of course I did. Oh, Lord. And I'm just going to kind of press it down so it sticks to wherever that glue was. And tap, tap, tap. I did it again. Hey, how about this? If you're going to do that, don't put it all over the frame if you don't want to get all dirty. All right. I mean, not that I'm being an old prima donna. I just don't feel like getting... I've peeled glue off my hands how many times today? A lot. And I'm just sprinkling these on there just to give it a kind of a fun look. And we're talking about sustainability here. Using all we got. This would have been a good give-a-scrap project, which we will be doing again in April. So stay tuned for more information. If you haven't been on the Makers Market, where I hope you guys all realize that's not just a selling platform. It's really a collective for us. What I loved most about it is I don't have to have a special Facebook group where we have collaborations and we all talk to each other. I don't have to go on and manage that and post new things. I can do it all in, I can do all my work and communications right in the Makers Market. So I can hang out with friends. I can chat independently with people. I can chat as a group. I can ask questions. Anybody that wants can create collaborations. If you want to sell on the platform, you can do that. You know, it's just one spot. Nothing else like it, that's for sure. All right, I do like it on those two, but I do think it's kind of fun to do a little bit more. So let's just kind of randomly put some on this and see what sticks here. I was thinking I just want kind of like more confetti-esque. Boy, that's going all over. And I'll just dump it off and keep adding to it. I mean, this is the simplest thing ever. And you could use whatever you got. If you got glitter, you got, you know. I just thought this might be fun for a spring topper. Now, I may be doing some of these and turning them into little pieces that you could put on your tiered tray, as I decorate my tiered tray for every season. But you could also, and I have used these as a topper for an actual journal before. So possibilities are endless. I see a couple little glue spots here. Of course, that one. And then I think we need to do the same on the side. Not quite as much, but just a couple little. Just a couple on the edge there. And then you're just going to sprinkle them and press them. And what falls off, falls off. And I think I'm just going to leave that like that, with a couple of them hanging out on the edge. Okay, now I still got a lot more of these things. And this is only, I mean, this was only one book that I saved the confetti from. So you can get a lot out of that if you have a cinch machine or something like it. You know, it doesn't have to be a cinch. Okay, so that is that. Now, I didn't do anything else with it. I don't know how I want to use this, so I'm not going to. But let's do one where we, still pretty simple, where we're going to, I think I'm going to try one or the other of this. I think that might be just a little too much, but we'll try it. So I've got that frame that I can put over the top of it, and I think it takes up too much of the... Let me see here. Which one? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I think it's going to be that one. I like that one better. All right, what I grabbed for this one is, I have some brass butterflies and leaves. I have some little stamps. I have a little piece of bling. But what I grabbed that I thought would be cute, maybe. Why is this? Okay. This was part of that book. It was the fly page. And so I just put a stamp on here, and I thought this would be cute if we used it for the back. And then I have these pressed flowers that I got from Dave. I believe from Dave. And so I thought those would be cute in there. So before we put it on, because it will be easier for us to place the pretty leaves. Oh, and I do have a bow here that we can adjust and maybe use it on there too. Let's make sure this is going to fit where we want it. Perfect. So I want to make sure I mark up here. And you won't be able to see this, or we shouldn't be able to see it when we put everything on. But I want to stay within that area. So these little leaves are extremely fragile. So I think what I'm going to do is just kind of... I just want it to kind of grab. Yikes, yikes, yikes. I could just have ruined it. And then we're just going to use this, hopefully, to gently press it without pulling up those leaves. Because like I said, it's really fragile. Oh, I keep breaking the stem on this. The stem keeps getting shorter and shorter. And I think we want this to be our center point. And I know this is probably not the ideal way to do that because, you know, it's not as precise, but I don't want to take the chance of ruining that pretty flower like I just did right there. Wow, I couldn't have planned that better. It's right where it needs to be. There we go. All right, now let's look at what this will look like when we get it on here. Hopefully I didn't get it too far off. No, I like that. Okay. I kind of feel like I want, not this big, but I kind of feel like I want this little tiny bow on here. Sure, why not? All right, now we need to decide if anything. And the cool part about this, like, on her, I used pop dots to kind of lift up the little girl so she's more three-dimensional. And there's space in there that you could put, you know, something, an item, which I do have something we're going to try next. All right. Now, I'm not going to glue this down until the very... I got to decide which edge I want this on. I think I want it so that the words are up here and here. And then I just have these little, like, let's see. These were on a bulb pen. Oh, I feel like maybe I need something else to go with it. Well, these are like little charms. I guess we could do that. We could make that look, oh, that's cute. It looks like a little flower on there. Okay. And then I have these tiny, ooh, yikes. These little brass. Don't you think I should use those on there like that? Do I want this? I don't even think I need this on here. But I could maybe put it... Gosh, are there 4 of them in here? I feel like they are stuck together. Well, will you even be able to see that? Or do I want... Yeah, I think I need it over here. Nah. What we'll do is we'll glue this a little bit over here, just so it peeks out, just for a little bit of added, since that's all blank. I don't want it to be too heavy on one side versus the other. And again, a hot glue gun would be fantastic, especially if you're using that metal. But we are going to work with what we got here. I don't want it that way. There we go. I like it. And there's probably enough glue already on here that it will be fine. I'm going to move this just a little bit closer so it's kind of over there. There we go. Now I can't see how this looks, so you'll have to tell me. Do I have anything else that I could put? I think maybe I just need to do less is more and just leave it and just kind of put that hem kind of dangling there. All right, now you see how this one isn't totally straight. No worries. So now we are going to put on our glue. Wait, I gotta put him on, don't I? There we go. I really like that color of blue. Nice when a plan comes together. Okay. Let's just start up here. And this isn't necessarily even, you know, here and here, because I just slapped it in half. But I think we'll be okay. We sure are. Okay. Now, I could have moved this over more and had it not, you know, even. But I think it'd be okay like that. And there you have it. Now, I may add a little bit of lace or something like that later. I don't think I have any. I don't want to take away from the center of it. Oh, this is pretty, though. I mean, maybe I'll do something like that later on. Kind of smoosh it up, but I'm not going to do that now. All right, there we have it. See, my glue was pretty sloppy, but I will be able to get this off, so I just have to be gentle. Now, I do need to make sure that this stays together, and you can always just take your bulldog clips and just glue it, pop it together. But I think that looks really cute. Like if it were on display in a room, I think that looks cute on there too. All right, so number 2, done. Now, number 3, we're totally... Oh, shoot, I didn't put the Sunny Beach. I didn't put that on it. Angela, were you guys all yelling at me? I bet you were. Well, guess what? We can fix it. Yes, we can. Jeez, Angela. I was like, why does that look not right? Because I never finished it. I wanted to use the frame. Okay, we're still good. We're good. There we go. Much better. All right, now we got to add you back on here. Little flutterby. See, that looks so much better on there, doesn't it? All right, now we'll get our little flowers back on. I still have quite a bit of glue on here. And we may have to... Let's see. Where'd it go? There we go. And we'll put you right there. All better. Now I definitely do not need that ribbon. Cute. I like it. There you go. Number 2. Now it's finished. All right, the last one we're going to do, I have a bunch of sewing stuff. I've got this little spool. See, my nails are all a mess. I've got this measuring tape. I got an itty bitty tiny spool with some paper on it, a button, word from homespun from one of the Cartabella collections. I've got a little number 813. And my thought is, this is just from a paper pad. I don't know. I think I might have got it from Temu or something like that. I'm not sure. But I thought, let's just make it easy. And let's just put the girls. I'm going to stand up so I can not have my head in your... Let's just kind of get them on there. Now, I do have an extra little girl. Would it look funny if I added her? I kind of like her on there. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to measure to cut this right there. And it's not going to be perfectly on the page because of the offset, but I'll show you how to remedy that if you don't like the look of it, especially if you're going to give it as a gift. All right, let's stick her on. I mean, she's here. We might as well use her, right? And again, I could have cut them out. I could have put them on a some pop, back them and then put them on some pop dots. That would have worked too. But I think for this, I don't want to do much except glue it down. Although I won't do that until I'm just at the very end. So I just want a little bit, just a tiny bit of both of those. I don't even know if you can see that little edge to show. All right, so let's just kind of get it where we want. Now, I've got Fashion Collection, which is what that also said, but that kind of blends in. I got Homespun we could put on. That kind of looks cute. we put? I'm just going to experiment with this because I'm not really sure what I want. That looks cute. I do kind of like the way that that looks. I was thinking we could put this inside of there. Maybe. Oh, what else do we have? We have this old... I don't know. Well, here, you know what else we could do? What if we... put that there. And then... I don't know if we need that there, but we do have some other things, like... I have that could go underneath it. And I have some things here we can do. So I do like the look of this. So let's get that on first. And will be okay right there. I don't know why. That's going to get hidden anyway. What do I care about that? I don't. I hope you guys are having a great day. It is Saturday when I am filming this. And it's been a few weeks. It's just been a little crazy. And I am behind on doing my video. Now, I know most of you will be like, what are you talking about? You're behind. You're always ahead. I am still ahead. But I'm behind as to where I would really like to be. Here we go. All right, now... But when I'm filming this, it's a week when I do not have... next week, we don't have a live sale. So hopefully, I cross my fingers, I can get caught up on all the other things that need to happen in my life. I like the idea of that made in showing. Slimy little sucker with a... This is like a plastic. I wonder what else I got here. I'm not going to put that on yet. But I do think that this little guy would look cute. He may need to be glued on when I lift him up. Let's just see. Oh, this is a button. That's pretty cute. Okay, let's put her in, or them in, I guess. And for this one, let's see. Where do I want? Maybe I gotta hold this up. I'm sorry, guys. Just give me 2 seconds. Dag nabbit. All right, that's fine. I just want to make sure that wherever I put this glue, it's above that area. Pretty easy little project. The only scary part is using that knife. There we go. All right, she's down. Now I'm going to lift this up. Well, let's see. Do we want it to kind of, yes, kind of like that. And I think I can do it so I don't have to put the, pop the button back off. I might. And I'm going to put, so on this, I put it on the bottom and on the back. So it kind of will stick in 2 spots. Perfect. Now, will you fit? Nah, I'll just pop off the back. And if you have never done this before, you just use a pair of tin snips, pliers, whatever. And can't see that very well, can you? You just, I say, pop it right off so it's flat. It's that easy. All right. And you probably know by now, I don't like things straight. Cattywampus. I don't like them symmetrical. Put that there. And then, that's too much. Oh, look at this. Oh, this is the thimble. That's too much. I think this rusty safety pin will do it, but getting it to stay on there might be a little bit of a challenge. We'll try it. Barely putting any glue on it. Hopefully it'll adhere okay. Because I don't want it to go smooshing all out, which it just did, see? Dang it. There we go. Pretty cute. Pretty cute and very easy. So I hope you enjoyed that. Just a very quick tutorial. And then we did a lot of decorating. I thought my lights had gone out. But I hope you give it a go and try this using your scraps, because it's a fantastic way to use up those old book pages. Thanks for joining me, friends. If you haven't already subscribed, take a second to do that. It means a lot to me. It helps me a lot and gives me the ability to continue doing what I'm doing to bring you fresh content. We will see you next time. And until then, remember to take time to just be. Cheers.